What are you doing your best at this week?
Well, you were about to say, in case you didn't see on Instagram.
Oh, I literally didn't even finish the sentence. I'm just like, okay, guys, it's great to talk to you. Bye. All right. Are we recording?
We're recording.
Here we are.
So we'll check that we're recording over here.
Here we are.
Yes.
We are recording. That's
really 75% of the battle.
I mean, just getting anything fucking working is 75% of the battle. It's just like, good Lord. How's it going?
It's going well. We're here together in person in the echoey room that I was in last week.
Yeah, it's echoey, but I guess we're together, so.
We're together. We brought in some pillows. We put down a rug. We rolled in a garment rack to absorb some of the sound.
It all sounds good. I think it's great.
We're doing all right. I was all set up because Busy wasn't sure if she was coming here or if she was going to do it from her apartment because of me, because I wasn't clear on that.
Well, there was something going on with your phone. I tried to text. It didn't come through.
No texts were coming through. It happens to my husband all the time too, which then makes me start spiraling and being like, this phone is trying to ruin my relationships.
Or like like anxiously attaching.
Maybe.
It makes you anxiously attached when
maybe. But I was getting all set up in the little, how they have those little pods where you can make private phone calls.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe I should record in here. It won't be echoey. And so I had everything set up in there. And then when you were like, should I just come there? I was like, yeah, LOL. Yeah. But imagine if I was like, let's both squeeze into this pod together.
Yeah.
It probably it wouldn't have lasted very long.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It would have been too short. It would have been too small. Too small. I'm okay. I feel very overwhelmed.
Yes. I can understand that.
Uh-huh.
This is the busiest month I've ever seen you have in a minute.
Well, there's also I'm getting
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I'm getting requests to go. I just got one. I need to make a video for a virtual rally for New Mexico tonight. I need to put some things down and say some things on a vid. And then I got an ask to fly to Vegas for some stuff, speak at the rally. Nevadans for reproductive freedom.
Wow.
But it's all, but we're also here filming the show and, and we're just.
And you can't bend space and time.
We can't bend space and time?
Yet.
We can't? Question mark?
We can't. Well, here's what I've been learning.
Yeah?
If you have to say no to something that you wish you could do, a lot of physicists believe that there are alternate realities in which you are actually doing that thing. So maybe it can make your guilt feel a little less. You're like, on the earth that I'm on right now, I cannot make it. But there is another reality in which I am there, and it's great, and there's plenty of time. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Well, listen, look at who. I'm going to put him on speakerphone. Should I do it?
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. Hold
on. Okay.
Just so you know, you're on speakerphone. You're on speakerphone. I'm with Caissie, and then we're recording our podcast right now.
Okay, well, I want to say that I'm so excited to see that season 2 of the show is coming back.
Thank you, Eric Gurian.
This is Eric
Especially
Gurian.
because it's a phone call I always wished we would get for our show, but I suppose removing me was the key.
Or was adding Caissie on camera the key?
We always wanted to do it, and she said no.
She refused. So we tried Kelly and Shantira and Jenny, and you know what? Didn't hit the same.
But you know what? As we say in life, if you change any ingredient to the perfect thing, it might change the end result. So you don't want to do that. So we all had to do what we did to get to where we are.
You know what? That's actually so true.
It's so true.
Because, by the way, there would have been no Girls 5 Eva for me if there had been a season 2 of Busy Tonight.
It's true.
And it's possible there would have been no pandemic, which would have been...
Wait a minute.
I don't mean to laugh at the pandemic.
We miss you, Eric Gurian.
No.
Caissie's here.
I miss the both of you.
Caissie's here all month. So, we're doing this show.
Well, I'm up in living in Beacon, New York. So.
I know, but you come back a little bit.
Yeah, I do.
Why did New York City kick you out?
They hated him.
Well, because of the incident.
They said they can't do it anymore.
Oh my God. I'm so because
Mayor Adams administration.
I was going to say they let Eric Adams be the mayor and yet they kicked you right out of town.
Listen.
I had to resign.
Can I just tell you guys, you might not know that like the last time I was here making the QVC show, I don't even know if Busy knows this. I was overwhelmed. I'm going to be honest because it's a lot of work to be to get your lashes glued on and to like make the show,
Sure.
And it's a really small team here. And there was a day when I was so overwhelmed and I was just standing out on the sidewalk. Like, I don't even think I was waiting for an Uber. I think I was trying to just puzzle out how I was going to get where I was going. And Eric Gurian rode by on his bicycle. He was coming from the grocery store and it was like a magic injection into my life. Like he stopped, he talked to me, he gave me a great pep talk and some great ideas. And seeing you just always turns my life around is what I'm trying to say.
I'm like, well, that's very nice. I'm glad I could help. I'm like the creative radio man where I ride by on my bike and give you a little tidbits of information.
That is actually true. That is actually true. Well, Eric, we hope you have a great day. Thank you for calling and congratulating us on the second season of this show.
I consider myself, other than immediate family, you're the biggest fan. So I just wanted to say congrats.
We love you so much. And we're so happy.
Love you guys.
We got to have you on the podcast.
Tell your mom so she can listen.
Yeah.
She's already a listener. Don't worry. She'll hear it.
We love your mom too. Okay. I hope I see you soon.
Yeah, me too.
Bye.
Okay, bye. I love that guy.
He's the best.
You know what is so great about working with Eric is is
that we changed his life.
We changed his life. Mm-hmm. We made him a different man. Mm-hmm. I think he's a lot happier.
Oh, yeah.
Than, even though we wish certain things had been different. Oh, I think he's so much happier for having known us and had us in his life. I'll totally take credit for that. I was going to say, I love that he always makes time for fun snacks. Mm-hmm. And he even... when it's the most tense and most pressure filled, he always makes time for like a light prank, which I don't ordinarily love pranks, but when he does them, I find it hilarious.
I like a light prank. You know what I realized though? I don't love a surprise.
Oh, but you don't love a surprise and I
don't love pranks and I don't like pranks and I don't like being scared.
See okay, some of Eric's pranks were scaring people.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But like the most gentle scare. Like, yeah, like you weren't there that time, I think, when he hid in an overhead cabinet in the office and gently popped out to a number of people. But it was very funny.
I'm not doing that.
I don't normally like pranks either. Which is why I was never a big fan of improv everywhere, because I always felt like it was just pranking people and I felt like it was really mean pranks. But, you don't hear much about improv everywhere nowadays, so I guess they outgrew their pranks.
I still think about that one thing, the best. Remember when This American Life had a TV show for like one season on HBO?
Oh, kind of, yeah.
It was my favorite. I loved it. And there was this one called like The Best Gig That Never Happened or something.
Right.
It was so good. But it was like those people, like the Improv Everywhere people.
Yeah. And they
picked this like obscure band that was coming to play at like Bowery Ballroom or something on like a random like Tuesday night, like early slot. And they got like 200 people or 300 people to like go online, learn all the songs to the band, and then show up and like be like super fan out, like the fucking, like it was like the greatest thing that they'd ever seen. And the band, from the band's perspective, they didn't know, they weren't in on it.
Right.
And they just like describe like being there playing the show and like like all these fans, and they were just like freaking out and like thinking like that it was about to happen for them. Like it was like really like happening, like their music, you know, whatever. And then when they found out after that it had been like sort of essentially a prank, which the guys who had coordinated it, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Right.
Like they didn't think, they just thought they were giving giving this band a gift,
like a dream come true,
like a dream come
fans.
true. But they didn't know what was happening, and it felt to them mean, and like after like was it that it was all fake, and they really struggled, and then they broke up as like they never, you know, they like couldn't, like one of the guys like kind of could never get over it. Like it's intense.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with pranks, guys.
You gotta be careful.
I don't like, you know why? I don't want to deceive anybody.
No.
I always was like, anytime Ellen was scaring people, I was like, that's not a nice thing to do to your guest. You're a guest in my home. I'm not going to fucking jump out of a box. I'm not going to have like Cricket put on a mask and hide for like 20 minutes and then like jump out of my side table and fucking scare you with it. What is that? That's so bizarre.
Yeah. One time when I was, I probably was like 12 years old, and my aunt was moving into a new apartment, and my cousin was probably like maybe 16 years old, guy cousins, like real, you know, real bros. And my aunt's closet had like those louvered doors that you could see through. And I was like, oh, it'll be funny if I go in this closet and like hide and scare my cousin when he comes in the apartment. And I did. And I felt so bad because he was legitimately terrified. And then I started to think of like, you know, it just brings up everything terrifying that's ever happened in your life. And I felt so bad because my cousin was like, I can't breathe, like for the longest time. And I was like, I'm never going to scare anyone again. It's not for me.
It's not for any of us.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless you're like, I don't know, I guess Ellen, or you know who else likes to Isn't Jimmy Fallon?
He's doing
Isn't
like a
he
haunted
scarer?
house. He has like a haunted house, which I'm like, a haunted house. Okay, you know,
it's supposed to be like a funny haunted house. It's at 30 Rock. I don't know. I'm not going because again,
you're not into it.
It's not for me.
Right. Have I ever told you about the haunted house in Niagara Falls?
No.
Okay, so we took the kids to Niagara Falls one time, and it's like, if you've ever been to Niagara Falls, it's all those type of attractions, like Ripley's Believe It or Not, and like every tourist attraction that is like a national chain.
Why is that in Niagara? Niagara Falls is like the Grand Canyon. Like why? It's like it's a seven wonder of the world. It's one of the seven wonders of the world. Why are they putting up like a fucking TGI Fridays? Like what the fuck?
Because if you bring your family there, you can only stare at that water for so long.
I don't know. You go to the Grand Canyon, you can only stare at the fucking hole in the earth for so long, and yet there's no amusement park.
They got to put a Ripley's there.
No, they don't.
Anyway, at the Grand Canyon, at the Niagara Falls, there was a bunch of haunted houses, and Eli was probably like 7 years old, and Lincoln was like 4 years old, and Lincoln was already so fucking salty. He hated every vacation when we were kids. He always would be like, I want to go back to my gray house in Connecticut. And I'd just be like, we're just here for like a weekend, please. So Matt took Eli in this haunted house, and they came out, and Matt was like suitably terrified because it was like a good, scary haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Eli was so jazzed. His mind was blown. He was like, and he's never been this kind of kid. And he was like, Mom, that was so awesome. We have to go back. We have to go back to the haunted house. You have to experience it. And I was like, we have your brother, and like, we're going to have to take your brother through the haunted house. And he was like, Lincoln, you have to go through the haunted house. I'm begging you, please, please. And so we finally agree that like as a family, we're going to go through the haunted house together.
I'm not on board.
It was busy when I tell you, we went into this haunted house. We waited in line. The first minute of the haunted house, some actor jumps out of somewhere, scares the shit out of me. And I immediately got in the person's face and I was like, don't fucking do that to me. And that I was like, oh my God, like, don't touch me. Like really went into like self-defense mode. And that person must have gotten on a walkie-talkie and been like, there's an unhinged mother in here who can't take this at all. So everyone stand down and don't do any scares to this family. And so we went through the haunted house and like nothing else popped out to scare us. It was like a museum. Like we just walked through. And then when we got through, Eli was like, that was so boring. It was so scary last time. And it was so boring that time. They did such a bad job scaring us. And then I was like, I think it was Mommy's fault. I think I shut it down. I think I threatened.
I think you shut it down.
I threatened the first ghost and turned on him. And so it was my fault.
Well, listen, it wasn't for you. And you should have known that.
I should have known. But, you know, you want to make your kids happy / traumatize them if that's what they're asking for. And I did my best, but I didn't do such a great job at it.
Well, listen, but you did your best. Well, listen, there's lots of scary stuff happening in the world.
Oh, dear.
I don't know. I was trying to segue.
It was a good segue. Love to everyone who is in the path of Milton. I'm just watching people like prepare for this storm, and it's wild.
I was just going to look. Yeah, I mean, I saw that guy crying, the meteorologist
getting choked up, talking about it.
It's really scary, but also like we really need,
we need to address climate change if it's possible.
If it's fucking possible. But like, you know, one of the largest polluters is the military. Right. All of this war. Like, right. What are we fucking doing? Like, it is.
Yeah. It's not straws, which they put a lot of pressure on us about our straws.
Really, the fucking straws. And like, they're just lobbing billions of bombs.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever. It is. Guys, we go back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, we all have to have these moments of like, we have to find ways to have hope. We have to then also have moments where we're like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
And
we got to stop using AI because it wastes a shit ton of water.
Oh my God. Everybody stop fucking using ChatGPT. Stop using AI. Fucking cryptocurrency people. Stop it.
Stop it.
Elon Musk's dumb fucking face. That guy's got the dumbest fucking face I've ever seen. Dumbest fucking face. And how crazy, because his mother is so beautiful, but his face is so fucking dumb.
Well,
it's so punchable.
But you saw what his mom tweeted, right?
No. My son's got a dumb fucking face.
No, but she tweeted like that because of Democrats, you can vote 10 times or something.
Fuck
and everyone
you,
was
May
like,
Musk.
You can't say that.
Get out of here. The whole
illegal.
family's out of their fucking minds.
I mean, woo.
Guys, I want to tell you about something so cute. Cute and helpful.
Cute and helpful. The two best things.
Cute and helpful.
Well, you know that I talk about my girls all the time.
Well, you know that my kitties are rescue kitties. And also, like, I feel very strongly about, like, when you can, support rescue organizations and animal welfare organizations, that it's really important that you do that. And guess what Cuddly is?
Tell us.
Cuddly is a fundraising platform that supports animal welfare organizations all over the world. 4,000 shelters and rescues trust Cuddly to raise funds and receive donations of supplies for the animals in their care. And they thoroughly vet and not vet like a dog vet, but they verify every rescue organization that they work with. So unlike other fundraising platforms, your donation is actually going to an animal in need. And in order to join the Cuddly platform, an organization must be a 501c3 nonprofit in good standing, and all donations made through Cuddly are tax deductible. It's very easy to access your donation receipt, to file with your taxes. Your donation history is clearly visible in your donor account, and Cuddly even puts them all into a single document for you. Let me tell you something. If you have children in your life that love animals, it's always a great gift.
Oh, that's a good idea.
To donate in their name to Cuddly. It can be hard to choose one animal to donate to, but Cuddly makes that easy as well. When you make a one-time donation, Cuddly distributes the contributions to the animals and organizations with the greatest needs each month. It's such a good organization. It's so wonderful. It's doing such great work. And again, you have an animal lover in your life. You have somebody who really feels strongly about animals. This is just like a wonderful thing to do. You feel strongly about animals, maybe in honor of one of your pets.
Aww.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's so great, and it makes it so easy.
Yeah. So now your dollar goes even further. For every $20 donated through a one-time donation, Cuddly will gift a soft and snuggly blanket to a rescue animal in need.
Aww.
Head to cuddly.com/best today to make a donation and help make a difference. That's cuddly.com/best. Donate to Cuddly today. Head to cuddly.com/best and help make a difference. Cha-ching. Guys, upgrade your business. Get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Listen, when you think about businesses that are selling things, selling all the things, Allbirds, Skims, our merch.
So many businesses that you patronize are probably using Shopify.
Literally millions of businesses, Caissie. Millions of businesses.
And the reason why is because it's so easy. You know how I know it's easy? Because if we can do it.
Because you figured it out.
If we can do it, you can do it.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And it's not so secret. It's a not so secret. But with Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned, way more sales going ka-ching. If you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling and strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Guys, it is true. They all use Shopify. And maybe you are like, I don't know, this is like my hobby. I just no. Or Shopify it up.
Yeah. You have an idea for something that you want to make, and the thing that's holding you back is like you don't know how you would begin to sell it to people.
Mm-hmm.
Do not let that hold you back.
No.
Do not, because Shopify is here and it's so easy to use. It makes it simple.
Upgrade your business. Get the same checkout that we use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/herbest, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/herbest to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/herbest. Guys, it's time to be a CEO.
So we have a really special guest today. But we're in a weird situation where Busy and I are both off camera because we're in our office and we're using the same. So we can, Busy, come
here. Well, you can. Okay,
you can wave.
Hi. Look at my hair.
How are you?
We were just talking about how Elon Musk's mom tweeted some misinformation about voting, and it wasn't great.
What did she say?
She said, I'll look it up because it was so outrageous that I was shocked. And people called her on it, but Twitter or X is such a mess right now.
Well, also her son owns it.
Her son owns it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay.
So,
Mae Musk, the gorgeous model, she's a model.
She's beautiful.
And she's the mother of Elon Musk, said, the Democrats have given us another option. You don't have to register to vote. On election day, have 10 fake names, go to 10 polling booths and vote 10 times. That's 100 votes and it's not illegal. Maybe we should work the system too.
Oh my God. I literally posted something about him the other day, and one of the kids that I went to grad school with DM'd me and went off on me that I know better and that he's a successful businessman. And we got into this huge fight. And I'm like, my sister-in-law almost dated this guy. I was like, thank God she never did, because I would kill this man if he were my brother-in-law. He's nuts. And he's out there spending millions of dollars a month for Donald Trump. Did you see him talking to, oh God, who is the little guy from Fox News?
Oh, Tucker Carlson.
Yes. Did you see his interview with Tucker Carlson?
Where he essentially threatened murder. I mean, threatened to kill.
He said it was pointless to
try to kill
the vice president and the sitting president because they're so ineffectual.
I did not even hear that part of it. Jesus.
Chilling.
No, it is chilling.
And I feel like the Secret Service probably needs to visit him every day, but are they? Do they?
But here's the thing. It's not even that. It's this is the problem with all of this inflammatory language that they use, is that it's not Elon Musk's not doing anything. He's not a threat.
Right.
The person that's the threat
is who's listening to him.
Is the person that's listening to them that is already has mental illness, already is, indoctrinated in other ways, is feeling motivated because for a myriad of reasons. Those are the people. We can't send the Secret Service to those people. We don't know who they are.
Right.
The fact that these people are allowed to get away with saying these things is totally outrageous. I don't know. Listen, I was saying, Liuba, I was just saying before you joined that I was feeling, with the hurricane and escalating war and all of this stuff, everything. Sometimes even I get in, all of us, we get into the bad place, where I'm like, it's pointless. What are we doing? What are we doing? And one thing that I love about our guest today, Liuba Grechen Shirley, is that she is a person that gives me hope. She continues to show up and has an incredible organization that she started, Vote Mama, and now she's founded the Vote Mama PAC, PAC, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit because I think especially right now, it's feeling a little bit like the dark side is out there and they're really pervasive. And how do we combat that? What are we doing? Liuba, hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me. That's a really tough question. How do we combat this?
Mm-hmm.
It is overwhelming. You said even I am always the most optimistic and always so excited when we're, just a couple of weeks away from election day. But the way that I'm trying to combat this, and my mom will literally come out of her room after watching the news and panic and just start yelling at me about everything that's happening. And she's like, but what are we doing? And I was like, well, I'm going to go back upstairs to my office and I'm going to try to elect 215 moms because that's the best way that I know how to combat this right now. We've endorsed 215 Democratic moms running from school board to Senate. We have 4 red to blue candidates, 36 federal candidates. We focused on Michigan, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. And so the way that I am channeling all my anxiety of this election is into raising as much money as possible and getting as many volunteers to go knock doors for the candidates that we've endorsed.
Talk to us a little bit why getting more moms in office is an important thing and a thing that all of us should strive for. Whether we're moms or not.
Yeah. When I ran for Congress, anytime I talked about childcare or paid family leave, without fail, there would always be somebody in the audience and they would scold me and they would say, don't talk about the women's issues, talk about the bread and butter issues. We lose $120 billion a year because of the lack of childcare. We are losing upwards of $23 billion because of the lack of paid family leave. These are the most basic bread and butter issues our country.
That sounds like a lot of bread and butter to me.
It's the most basic bread and butter issue. Honestly, childcare and paid family leave, they're keeping women out of the workforce and they're holding us back economically. So moms get this. Moms understand how bad our policies are. They've been failing women and children for generations. Childcare costs more than college in many states. We're one of 7 countries without paid family leave. We're the most dangerous country to give birth and be born in the industrialized world. And we don't have politicians who have the lived experience to actually do something about this because legislators legislate on their lived experience. When you elect moms who understand this, who've actually had the most visceral experience of giving birth in this country and trying to raise children in this country, they start to introduce legislation right away on childcare, reproductive rights, paid family leave, education.
Sensible gun control, gun reform.
Exactly. Guns are the leading cause of death for American children. We understand this at a visceral level. So electing moms makes a huge difference in what actually happens, what conversations are happening at the decision-making table, what policies are being prioritized.
So after you ran for Congress and you saw what you were up against as a mom and trying to run this campaign, you started Vote Mama as a way to support other women who wanted to get into politics, who had kids, who were unclear how to do it. Because also I think there's something really interesting that, Liuba, you can probably speak to more. It's not just about like having, I mean, of course it's about having, I mean, first of all, we should just have way more women. We should just all be women. It should just all be women. That's what I'm going to say. They've had their chance.
Yeah.
It's not been great. You know what I mean? We're not doing great. But I think that having kids, school-age kids and kids in college for our politicians, I think that's really important.
Yeah. We've put a number, like on our foundation side, we do this research and we have this series called The Politics of Parenthood, where we looked at how many moms of minor children are serving both at the state legislature and at the federal level. We actually just released a report about 2 weeks ago, an updated version for our state legislatures. 7.9% of our state legislators are moms of minor children. 2% are moms of color of minor children. Jeez. 19,000 bills get passed by the state legislature a year, and that affects every aspect of our daily lives. So we need to elect 763 more moms of minor kids to even reach proportional representation to the rest of our population. And you look at the policies that we have, we have abortion bans in 22 states now. Mm-hmm. It matters who we elect. And our political system was not designed for moms. It was designed for wealthy, older, white men, landowning men. And our political system has not been updated, not been modernized. And so if we actually want to change our policymakers, we have to change our political system. That's how we're going to change the policies in this country.
And you know what? The thought that's like ringing in my head as I'm hearing you speak is that, like, if you asked anyone what kind of country America is trying to be, I think you'd hear a lot of lip service about we want to be leaders in innovation and creativity and education, forward thinking. The less you provide any type of safety net for women, children, and families, the less that a country does that, the more that you are absolutely draining one of the main sources of creativity. Because when you forced women to get creative, to cover gaps in their healthcare and how to care for their children and feed their children and educate their children, then there's no room for anything else. There's no room to invent anything. There's no room to write anything or imagine anything or use your creativity to teach. That you're dry.
You're tapped out.
You're tapped out. You run dry. And that's all I can think of is how we're shooting ourselves in the foot as a country.
I mean, beyond.
You're 100% right. I always say this, by the time you realize how bad our policies are and how terrible we are to women and children, you're in the midst of new motherhood. You're in the midst of trying to survive, to maintain some semblance of yourself, of your career, and you don't have the time to go out and fight for systemic change. And that's what we need. And that's where Vote Mama comes in. And to your point, I think my favorite quote, Professor Jessica Calarco said that other countries have social safety nets and the U.S. has women. We have become America's social safety net because we have such backwards policies. You're talking about education. We think of ourselves as a leader in education. We're 27th globally in education, 27th globally in healthcare. Our policies are putting us so far down the line, and we have to change who our policymakers are. That's it. That's the only way that we are actually going to make any changes. There's so many amazing organizations that try to lobby our current legislators to make change. They either understand it already and they don't have the political willpower amongst their colleagues, or they don't get it and they're not going to get it. You have to change the policymakers, because when you elect Democratic moms, you don't have to lobby them anymore. It's the first thing they do, because all of them, every mom I've ever talked to, and I've talked to thousands at this point, there's always one particular issue that made them want to run. And it always has to do with their kids. Something as simple as broken sidewalks while they're walking their kids to school. One woman literally reached out to her city council and asked them to come walk her kids to school with her. And when they didn't do anything about it, she ran and she won. And she's now a city council member and she's working to fix those sidewalks. It's always something that simple.
Wow. So what's the difference? Will you explain to people what the PAC does?
Yes.
What the Vote Mama PAC does? Yeah,
absolutely. I launched the PAC first, right after my campaign, because all I could think back to was the beginning and all of the people who were supportive of me, and they were the moms who had done it. So I wanted to create a PAC that really supported women when they stepped up to run. Usually, when you talk to a PAC, you say, this is my path to victory. This is how much money I've raised. You get a PAC check, you get an endorsement, and you usually don't hear from them again. I wanted to be a safe place for moms who they could connect with other moms running, because it's really lonely when you step up to run for office, and to be able to talk about it. So we've now endorsed over 500 moms running from school board to Senate. We fund, we mentor, we endorse, and we put them in touch with other mamas. We are building the Mamas Network. The Old Boys Network is alive and well, but when you step up to run, you need to talk to other women who are in the trenches, who understand what it's like to work 18 hours a day and have babies at home and trying to be, at every town hall meeting and every debate and knocking on doors with little kids. It's hard, and we connect moms. So
you told a story once, Liuba. I feel like you're going to have to try to you're going to fill in the gap for me, because I just remember that it was basically you didn't have anyone to watch your kids when you would show up to, speak at these rallies or events. But then when you would bring your kids, the other candidate would say that you were using your children to try to get votes, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It's welcome to being a fucking mother. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
I had leaders of my own party call my kids political props, and they would say, I can't imagine that we've never seen a candidate take her children with her. I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I was nursing 2 kids.
Oh my God.
And they would be like, this woman brings her children everywhere. My opponent in the primary attacked me for having my children in ads with me. And then he borrowed somebody else's kids, took photographs with them, and put that in his literature.
Well, that's become really popular recently.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
There's been a Republican guy that his picture, there's pictures of him.
Someone else's children.
Yeah.
He borrowed his kids and took photos of them for his congressional campaign.
It's pictures of him with a family, and then it's
Where?
Not at all his family.
Where is this? Do we know?
I don't remember, but
I'll look it up. You two talk while I research.
Wait, that's insane. Guys, we've talked about Joni before, but I want you to listen up, because the importance of the things that you're putting up there, you got to know what it is.
It's real. You got to know.
It's real. And we didn't know for so long, you guys. We didn't know for so long what we were using, what we were putting against our who's and our ha's, up in our vaginal canals.
100%.
I mean, never mind the shady guys in high school. I'm talking about the period products. I mean, Joni is providing game-changing period care for everybody. Organic, sustainable pads, tampons. They also have stress incontinence care. Joni provides clean, green solutions for all your period needs. And Joni's goal is really to embolden people who menstruate, so much so that they're going to come out with a book all about period stories. We've all got them.
I love it. I'm excited for this book. And I love that Joni, I was told, is named for the great Joni Mitchell, who I find very inspiring.
She is very inspiring.
I do not love a Joni Mitchell song more than when I am having my period.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. That could be in the book on periods. Joni wants to create an anthology featuring real period stories, first periods, period sex, period health, like endometriosis, perimenopause, beyond. Listen, the way we see our stories in print, learn from each other, and normalize the conversation about menstrual health in unconventional places like hotel lobbies, clothing stores, bookstores, and more. The truth of the matter is, I mean, like, let's be real, that I made it a point on Busy Tonight to always mention when I had my period, because I just thought, let's just mention it. It's not a big deal. It's not like a Period 101 book that Joni's making. It's a beautiful design, forward, architecturally inspired book about our real life stories and experiences. And they want to showcase as many stories as possible in their book on periods, and that means yours. So head on over to joniperiodbook.com and submit your period story. In addition to helping create the first ever anthology of real and diverse period stories, everyone who submits a story will be entered to win a year's supply of Joni period care products valued at $300.
Amazing.
Whether it's a sweet story about a mom or dad supporting his daughter while she navigates the first time in the period care aisle, or a cringe-inducing first period story, or a time you felt anxiety or shame because of your period, Joni wants to hear from you. Submissions are open now through October 15th. Make sure to add your voice to Joni's book on periods at joniperiodbook.com, JONIPERIODBOOK.com. Guys, I got home last night and my cats were going crazy. We love our kitties, Gildo and Rosie. They're so sweet. And they don't ask for anything, just some pets. And they ask for their Smalls food. They love their Smalls food. And also, this holiday season, Smalls is donating millions of dollars of cat food to the Humane Society. How nice is that?
That's so wonderful.
No, I really love them.
Eli's cat, Sunny, also loves Smalls. And I think it's so cute because she's the smallest cat I've ever seen in my life. She weighs like 6 pounds.
I love that.
I think she's adorable.
That's really cute.
She's hype. And she really will launch herself at some Smalls like you have never seen in your life.
That's really cute. Well, my cats can't live without Smalls. Smalls cat food is protein-packed. Recipe is made with preservative-free ingredients you would just find in your fridge, delivered right to your door. Still not a believer? New York Magazine calls Smalls the best cat food according to veterinarians. Come on.
Woo!
Plus, I love that they're donating over $1 million worth of food to help cats through the Humane Society.
That's incredible.
It is so nice. And they even give you a chance to donate when you check out, because you can donate like $3 for treats, $5 for vaccines, or $7 for spaying or neutering.
Oh, wow.
I want to say, after switching to Smalls, 88% of cat owners report overall health improvements. That's a big deal. If you have a particularly picky cat, Smalls has a sampler, so your cat can try everything and then tell you which one they want. And you know, my cats sound so human at this point. They're like, they literally sound like they're saying hello. And the team at Smalls is so confident your cat's going to love their product. You can try it totally risk-free. That means they will refund you if your cat is like, no, thanks. I'm not going to eat this. Bye.
Which cats are known to do.
They are, but mine did not.
I was going to say, I don't think they will. I think your cat's going to love it.
So give your cat the gift of great cat food this holiday season. We're heading into it. Head to smalls.com/best. Use promo code BEST at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. It's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code BEST for 50% off your first order. One last time, that is promo code BEST for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Obviously, like, I'm so aligned with all of the things that you're saying. I think that, which is why I love Vote Mama, and I love all of the support that you're giving women. And maybe someone's listening right now and you're watching this current political cycle, this current election cycle, and you're thinking, could I run? Is that something I could do? And yes. Liuba, you would say?
I would say damn straight. I I literally, the first time I gave a political speech, I was so terrified. And I thought, who the hell am I to run for Congress? And my daughter, who was 3, started to just circle me. And all of a sudden, all of my nerves left my body. And I was like, that's who I am. I'm Mila's mama. I'm Nicholas and Andrew's mama. And I have every damn right to run. But women are always asked, we say you have to ask a woman 7 times before they consider really stepping up. If you have little kids, you have to be asked so many more times. And there are so many structural issues that you don't even think of. When you run for Congress in particular, but even at the state legislative level, you are working 18 hours a day, 2 years with no salary. And it's really difficult to do that if you're not independently wealthy. This is why we have so many wealth, and we have more millionaires in Congress than mothers, not mothers of minor children, but just mothers.
More millionaires in Congress than mothers. Come on, you guys. We can fucking do better than that.
It has to change. So there are small structural changes that we've been working on. So during my campaign, I petitioned the Federal Election Commission, and I asked if I could some of the money that I was raising, if I could use it on childcare. And everyone said it was political suicide and you're going to be attacked. And shockingly, it was a bipartisan, unanimous decision. It changed the way that federal candidates run. And now we've been working to get this approved for state and local candidates through our sister organization, Vote Mama Foundation. We've now gotten it approved in 35 states. Your state, Arizona, was the last state who just approved this. And we've now seen more than $1 million spent of campaign funds for childcare. This is being used by men, by women, by Democrats, by Republicans, but the majority of the funds are being used by women and by women of color. It sounds like a small structural change, but it can completely transform the political landscape.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Congratulations on that. Just FYI, Derek Anderson in Virginia's 7th is the gentleman who is using a family in his ads that apparently is not his family. So it really makes
it happens.
JD Vance's rental dog seem normal.
But this is the thing. If you're a man and you don't have a family, people don't take you as seriously. And this is not just in politics. It's everywhere. This is the fatherhood benefit. If you're married and you have children, you're looked at as more responsible. But if you're a mom with young kids, you're immediately looked at as somebody who is too busy to get anything done. How can she possibly get it done? Someone asked me when I first started Vote Mama, they said, how many moms do you need to elect to be successful? And I said, it's not about the number. It's about the normalization of moms. I want the first question not to be, but who will watch your kids while you campaign? Because that is the first question that women get asked. I want it to be, but why are you running and how can I help? The perception of moms versus dads running, it's night and day.
Girl, by the way, that's every job. I've told this story on this podcast before, but when Busy and I were making a late night television show for another network, Busy was so busy giving interviews that they asked me to speak to a journalist who wanted to interview me about this new show in the late night space. And this journalist was like, well, Jimmy Fallon does his YouTube channel and Conan O'Brien does his podcast and James Corden does carpool karaoke. How will Busy be able to extend her brand in late night when she's so busy being a mom? And I was like, most of those people that you just mentioned all have children as well. They are parents as well.
I want to also, though, I would add to that, Mark and Abby sort of gave up that year. Mark and Abby decided not to direct anything and to just write, so that he could be home.
Right.
So he did make a sacrifice as the partner to me, which is like all of those guys, their wives have made sacrifices. I mean, Nancy Giavonin, Jimmy's wife, was Mark's producing part. Like Mark worked with Nancy for years.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, like when their kids, she just was like, I'm not really going to produce anymore. I can't. I got to take a break for it. She's back now because the kids are older.
Right. Producing
things again. But like, it does require, if you're not independent, I mean, and those guys are making so much fucking money, but like, it's hard. It's hard to be a working parent. This is the point. And like, we don't make it easier on women. And we're constantly asking women where their kids are. Every time I go to an event and they're like, where are your kids tonight? I'm like, I don't fucking know where are your kids tonight. Hopefully entertained with one of the babysitters. Like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bless. So it's the 5-year anniversary of Vote Mama. Just give us some hope. What have you seen in 5 years? What are the substantive changes that you've seen in 5 years? We know about the fact that you've made this incredible, passed this, is it a law or whatever that you can use?
So in some states, it's legislation that has been approved. In some states, we get it done through an attorney general ruling or an ethics committee ruling or a secretary of state ruling.
Right. I mean, we don't want misuse of campaign funds. Obviously, that is up. I know that was what?
They asked me this. I was testifying at the FEC last year, this year. And they asked that. They're like, well, what about grifters? I was like, we have grifters currently in Congress.
Many.
Right?
Like, that's not an issue. That already is happening. Nobody is using, and one of the questions was, well, wouldn't somebody run for office then to be able to use their campaign funds for childcare? And I laughed so hard. I'm like, it is really hard to run for Congress. It is really hard to raise money. There are much easier ways to figure out how to pay for childcare than running for Congress and raising money.
There are easier grifts.
Also, it's literally public. Every donation and every dollar that you spend of your campaign is public. So you can see if there is any sort of misuse. And there hasn't been. It's just a way to break down a barrier. But sorry.
Well, it's so telling. It's so telling that the specter of using money for childcare is considered a grift, a potential grift by so many people in power. And when you compare it to what they think is totally okay, is nuts. Ugh. Anyway.
But busy. You were asking if I have hope or what has
like hope, what are some things that we can look at that from your perspective from 5 years ago to today?
5 years ago, women, like, I feel like in 2018, there were a bunch of us who talked about our motherhood during the campaign, and everybody thought we were nuts. I still remember Abigail Spanberger giving her acceptance speech with her 3-year-old or her 4-year-old between her legs. And I remember being like, yes, like, do you know how many times I was stressed or I got yelled at for having my babies up on stage? We're now seeing more of it. When I say we're normalizing it, we really are normalizing it. We see members of Congress taking their kids with them, and we see members of Congress not shying away from their role as mothers, and they're actually talking about what it's like to raise kids in this country. We've raised $10 million, more than $10 million for our movement. We've now seen candidates who, in our first cycle, we endorsed them for school board races and town council races. Now they're running for state leg in Congress. So we've supported 500 moms in over 600 races because many of them have now moved up.
Oh, cool.
And they're turning around and bringing up the next generation. I love seeing that. There's literally somebody who was a school board candidate who's now serving in the state legislature in Virginia, and she's kicking ass, and she's introducing really important legislation. So I love to see that. And women are leaning into who they are as moms. We saw, this is my favorite stat. Are you ready for this? So while it's only 7.9% at the state ledge level, from 2022 to 2024, it was a 49% increase. A 49% increase in the number of moms of minor kids serving in the state legislature. That's what gives me hope. Our theory of change is working. The more we break down these barriers. So on our foundation side, we're working on things past campaign funds for childcare, campaign funds for security, paid family leave for state legislators, proxy voting, virtual voting, on-site childcare reimbursements. All of these structural changes will make a difference in who runs because there are only 4 states that pay a livable wage right now. So most people don't realize in New Mexico, you don't get paid anything to be a state legislator.
Jesus.
In Virginia, you get paid $17,000 a year. You can't do that job unless you're already wealthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caissie's face. I wish you could see Caissie's.
I mean,
she's like, who wants to do that?
Yeah, it makes it almost impossible to make that decision. So
exactly.
Wow.
New Hampshire, you get paid $200 for a 2-year session.
I'm sorry. I thought getting paid $40 for my day of jury duty was bad.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wow. All right.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we need to change that too, no?
I feel like we need to well, because it makes people susceptible to grifting. Like that's what makes people susceptible to grifting is like, well, I do this to wield power and, and certain people would never and certain people would always, Yep.
Which
is how we got where we are.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, where can people go to volunteer? And like, what do you need? Like, in lieu of everybody's exhausted by giving money. I know they are. I just fucking know it. But I also know that money is the thing.
Money
but
is unfortunately key in politics. Money means you have the ability to pay your staff so that you can organize and you can go out and knock on doors and talk to voters. Money and knocking on doors. Those are the two things that every candidate needs.
Mm-hmm.
So Vote Mama PAC has endorsed 215 candidates this cycle. If you go to votemamapac.org, you can see all of our candidates. You can go to votemamafoundation.org to look at all the research and the structural work and the legislation that we're working on. But right now, the biggest states that we're focused on, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, we have so many candidates right now that we are trying to raise money for, that we are sending volunteers out to knock. So please go to votemamapac.org. Follow us at VoteMamaLobby on Instagram. We will be sharing all sorts of activities that you can do, ways to get involved. This is crunch time. We're just a few weeks away from Election Day.
It's crunch time, guys.
It's crunch time.
We can do it.
Close.
I know.
We're so close.
Okay. Well, Liuba, I'm going to see you tomorrow night, which I'm very excited about.
I'm excited. It's our 5th anniversary.
The 5th anniversary party? Yeah.
Are you wearing your pink voting suit?
It doesn't fit me.
Oh, go get another one. Amanda, Jocelyn, and Nikema and I are all wearing it. You got to wear it. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Well, I know I was in the movie too, but
I know.
But I'll see. I don't know I literally don't know if I have time, but I have the jacket, so at least I can wear the jacket.
Okay.
The pants are too fucking big. I can't wear them. It was ridiculous. It's like it's insane. That's why I posted the other day with me sitting down because they literally fall off of me. So I'm like, well,
I hem them and I hem them too short.
Oh, really?
Yes,
that's kind of cool though. Like that's like a look. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'm gonna wear them anyway.
Maybe I'll just wear like the oversized jacket as like a dress. I don't know. Don't worry. I'll wear pink. I just am not sure if I'm going to be able to wear the Argent suit, but I will try. I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'll bring it. Maybe I'll do a whole bit. Maybe I'll just like have it and just like a David Byrne like suit. Well, I'm excited to see you tomorrow for the 5th anniversary. I'm so happy that today, technically, whatever people listening
tonight.
To say.
Yes.
Tonight. People can go to votemama.org for more information. No?
Go to Mama. So you can go to votemama.org, but votemamapac.org will take you right to the PAC, and votemamafoundation.org will take you right to our foundation website.
Okay. Where do we want to go though?
You can go to both.
Okay, great.
Votemamapac.org for like candidate information, but also go to Vote Mama Foundation and check out all the other work that we're doing.
Okay, amazing. Okay, great. Guys, you've got your thing to do today.
Your orders.
You've got your marching orders for things to do today to make yourself feel better. And thank you so much. And go keep going. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Bye, Caissie.
Bye. Thank you so much, Liuba.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hiya. What's up? You know what it is? It's about to be that candy time of year.
It sure is.
Halloween is around the corner.
Yeah.
So you know what you don't need?
You don't need any more gummy junk in your kids' diet.
No, especially not when you think you're giving them vitamins.
No extra sugar.
No extra sugar. No unhealthy gummy junk stuck in your children's teeth. This is why Hiya was created. It's a pediatrician approved, superpowered, chewable vitamin. And we know most children's vitamins, guys, I've said it before, I'll say it again, filled with at least 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a whole host of health issues, including teeth and gum issues. I speak from experience with my children. But Hiya is made with 0 sugar, 0 gummy junk, yet it tastes great. It's perfect for picky eaters. It fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide full body nourishment our kids need, a yummy taste they love. It's formulated from the help of nutritional experts, pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, and then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamins D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others that your kids need to make up the gaps in nutrition.
It's just going to happen that a couple dinners in the next month are going to be 5 fun-sized candy bars. It's just going to happen. Your kid's going to say they're not hungry for dinner, and it's because they got into their trick-or-treat stash.
So at least you know that you gave them the Haya.
Exactly.
And that they got a blend of 12 fruits and veggies and a lot of essential vitamins and minerals.
Give them Haya. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, everything else you can imagine it is free of. Haya is designed for kids of all ages. You can try it. You can have it. It's sent straight to your door, so you have one less thing to worry about remembering to get when you're out. And it comes with a little refillable bottle, which keeps, my kids entertained. They can decorate the bottle with stickers and do whatever they want with the bottle. Put their vitamins in it, obviously. But, but I mean, other than that.
But they can personalize it.
They can personalize it.
Make it their own.
We've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you got to go to hayahealth.com/busy. This deal, not available on the regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/busy and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults and 50% off your first order. Thank you, Haya.
She's doing great work. I'm so inspired by all the women that we've been having on the podcast lately. Just because, when Joe Biden made the decision to step down and endorse Kamala, I really was nervous. I know people mentioned that week where we talked about our feelings about whether or not that should happen and if it would happen. And I was so nervous about whether or not, I wasn't nervous about Kamala. I was worried about us. I was worried about if we as a people could get our shit together enough to do what we got to do to get her elected. So I'm really, really grateful to all of these women in particular who are stepping up above and beyond and just making change on every level. It's very inspiring. It's very exciting to get involved. And I feel like we are doing it. I feel like we are getting our shit together. Knock on wood. I pray that that is correct. I pray that that is correct.
I do too.
Not May Musk saying we can vote 10 times. That's not getting your shit together. That's gross.
I'm not interested anymore.
No.
I'm not interested in this shit. I feel like I'm going to start, you know what I'm going to start doing?
What?
I am going to start tuning out that bullshit. I'm not even going to look at it. I was talking with Mark about this. I feel like my brain doesn't work right anymore because of the internet, because of constantly looking at the internet. And I feel like I might need to delete it off my phone.
I did say to Matthew, our wardrobe stylist here at Busy This Week, I said that we all need to throw our phones in the ocean and start over.
I agree. Well, no, don't do that though, because global warming.
Yeah,
the
because
aforementioned climate change. It's pollution. Not great. It's pollution. Let's not do that. And those batteries, we don't know. You
but
know what I mean?
Maybe drop it in concrete or something.
We got to do something. I just feel like I feel like my own brain space is fucked from the amount of time that I'm spending just doom scrolling, period. I feel like it's not productive for any of us. And I feel like it's not creative. And I feel like the memes that I know don't make me a better person. It makes me way fucking less interesting, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm going to do it, guys. I think I'm deleting it off my phone. And then, that's the question is then what do I do? How do I post, to every time I have to post on Instagram? Because I still am going to need to do it for work. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I get another phone. I don't fucking know. What am I doing? Tell me what I'm doing. Maybe I get another phone.
Maybe you get another phone that's just like a utility phone.
By the way, I'm sure I have an extra phone in my home somewhere.
By the way, like maybe another phone number, and very judiciously give out that phone number to like 7 people. And then maybe your phone that's for everything and everybody, like maybe you get an hour a day or something with
Maybe
it.
there's like a thing that you can, no, I don't want an hour. This is what I'm saying. And that hour I need that fucking hour. Maybe I give it to someone else and they look at it.
Maybe.
That's someone else's job now.
It's a lot. I will say this. People that I have worked with who are celebrities, it's not uncommon for them to have like a private line that's for like,
I think it's time for a private line.
4 people.
I think it's time for a private line.
Because you are so great and you make yourself so accessible to everyone, and it's wonderful. That's amazing. But it's also hard because you're accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
And you're not one to just be like, leave someone on red, you know? And it's hard. It makes I get overwhelmed sometimes with how much my phone is calling for my attention. And I know that it's like 1/100th of what is coming into your phone at any given moment. So I can't imagine. It does break your brain.
Well, I'm sick of my brain being broken. I want to go back to the way that it used to be.
It's like,
will it ever go back?
It's really hard. You know what I've noticed is that like when we were kids, I mean, we talk about this all the time. When we were kids, your mom sent you outside to play and you didn't come home till the streetlights went on. And then, nobody knew where you were. And like, is that the best thing in the world? No. But I find myself getting very anxious if I try to get in touch with someone and I don't hear back from them almost immediately. Like I start to imagine all these scenarios and I'm like, what has happened to my brain? I didn't used to be like this. I used to be able to be like, well, I left a message for someone like an hour ago. And
they'll get back to me when they get back to me.
Yeah, I'll hear back when I hear back. But now I'm like, oh my God, something happened. And it's just like, I'm increasing my own anxiety clearly. And so, yeah, I think there's something to being a little bit unreachable, but reachable to who needs to reach you,
Yeah. I hear that. Well, here we are. We've got a lot to do. We really do.
We do.
And it's exciting.
It is.
And it was announced that, in case you guys missed it, in case you took Instagram off your phone, or your Instagram doesn't even show you my things, because, let me just tell you something. That's a fucking thing.
That's a thing, for sure.
Like, okay, I had that thing the other day, guys, where it said, you've seen all the new posts that there are to see.
Yes.
But then I didn't. There's no fucking way. They're just hiding things from me, because Mark had asked me about a mutual friend, like if I had seen their post about something. And I was like, what? No. And I had seen all the posts there were to see. And he's like, well, clearly not. No. So I'm just saying, I think that there's like something afoot.
100%. 100%. Like it's things are deprioritized. There's no other explanation. Like I said, like this video of my oven on TikTok got like 200,000 views, which isn't a lot by TikTok standards, but it's a lot for me by TikTok standards. And I'm just like, clearly TikTok decided to show this to everyone in the world. And they were like, hey, cool oven. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen with everything. And by the same measure, sometimes you'll post something to Instagram and like 7 people saw it,
Yeah.
And you're just like, I mean, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And, here's the thing with social media. Nothing is promised. I think it's all a big social experiment. And they're constantly, algorithms. Like we all know about algorithms, and there's some formula or whatever that we don't know what the formula is, but it's always changing. I don't know. I just don't trust it. I don't take anything as a given with social media.
I don't think we should.
No.
I think they're controlling it all. And who's they? We don't know. Pretty soon, guys, I'm just going to be wearing a tinfoil hat. And I'll be like, once I started to relieve myself of the shame of wearing my tinfoil hat, my life has been so much better. I don't know. Maybe those ladies are onto something. I don't fucking know. What are you doing your best at this week?
Well, you were about to say, in case you didn't see on Instagram.
Oh, I literally didn't even finish the sentence. I'm just like, okay, guys, it's great to talk to you. Bye. In case you didn't see on Instagram, guys, Busy this week is gonna do another season on QVC Plus. And yes, woo. And I just would love to thank all of you for your support, because I know a lot of you downloaded that app. I know a lot of you, wanted to support us and have been supporting us in all the ways. And that was a huge way to support us, putting that app on your television, checking out those episodes.
You sold out that squirrel.
That squirrel is
Tina Fey
in my basement currently. I just really want to thank all of you guys, because I do feel like it is not lost on us that thereby you have a lot of choice. We all have a lot of friggin' choices. You know what I mean? And I'm really grateful that you guys choose to hang out with us, spend time with us, listen to our podcast, watch Busy This Week on QVC Plus. If you don't understand how to get it still, just DM Caissie. She literally will call you and walk you the right way. Am I wrong though? There's no lie there. I don't think there's a lie there.
It's true. I'm happy to help if I know how to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until the 1,000th time. And then I'm like, I don't know. But this I know how to do.
I know you really do know how to do this.
This is one thing.
But anyway, I'm just saying it's not lost on me that we're so incredibly lucky to be able to continue to do these things. And the reason why we're able to continue to do these things is not just because we're making good stuff and putting it into the world. That's just not how the world works, unfortunately. Right. Because if everybody who just made great stuff and put it into the world got to do it, we would be shooting a season 4 of Girls Five Eva. But that aside, your support and showing up for us is the thing that really honestly keeps us going and has kept us going since, I'm going to start crying, since 2020,
And before that, we only get to do this cool thing because you're our team.
Well, no, but the podcast started in 2020, Caissie.
That's true.
I'm literally talking to these people right now.
These people. Podcast people. Got it.
Podcast people.
Got it.
And here's the thing, guys. The live tour thing that we did was so not worth it for us monetarily. But we loved meeting all you guys and being with you.
Yes.
But it was a strain on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
But I would like to figure out how to do some live shows.
I think there's a way to do it and not to, I think there's a way to do it. And I think all things, we have to figure out the way that we would do it and not maybe take the advice of people that, all good things. I appreciate help, but in everything like that, I think we have to figure out our way of doing it, because we just, we always would do things a little differently. It was
it was a shot. It was a we were doing it in a way that was not that different, and it didn't work.
It didn't exactly work. This actress who I love so much, and I've gotten to meet her a couple times, Natasha Rothwell, has this show, How to Die Alone. And my friend Kristen is a writer on it. And I love this show. Natasha Rothwell. You know her from Insecure. You know her from White Lotus. This show, How to Die Alone. And it's very, very funny. But also it has some really, really like deep, wise moments that when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God. And there's this line where this guy says, he's talking to her and she's talking about how lost she is, like how lost she is in life. And he was like, it's like when I got a Roomba. And he was like, when I first turned it on, it was just going around smacking into walls. And I was like, this shit doesn't work. But then the next day when I woke up, it was working. And he was like, those walls that it ran into, it was information. That Roomba was learning. And then the next day, it knew what to do. And so that's what I've been thinking about that a lot. And I'm like, all of these things that I'm like, I could regret this, or I could be like, I'm never doing that again. But you have to look at it as like information that taught you don't walk into that wall again, you know?
Let's not walk into the wall again.
Don't walk into a wall. Don't walk into a saw. Don't go to a second location. All these things. That's all information that we know.
Also, guys, wear a helmet.
Yeah. We were just lecturing Raymond Padilla about wearing a helmet when he rides a bike.
Yeah.
Even though he makes content on his bike, especially because he makes content on his bike.
Especially because he makes content on that bike. All right.
Well, what are you doing your best at this week?
I don't know. I'm trying to meditate still. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing my best at. I really don't.
You're it's a little bit of a struggle, I can see, because you just are being pulled in so many directions and you're shutting down like the small wonder robot a little bit. Do you remember she would like go into her closet?
Yeah, no, I am like that. You know that Kristen Miller used to talk about how I would power down on set of Cougar Town. Yeah. So, and you've seen me power down. Yeah. I like power down.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I haven't been powering down as much. I need to power down. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Oh, also I'm being a host.
Yeah. Your
my family's here.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We're doing our first show this week. Guys, you know when when you just need to put everything on top. And then Ben Platt, I'm going to the Vote Mama event for the 5-year anniversary. Amanda Seyfried and I are like co-hosting. And then Ben Platt reached out because he needed a moderator last second for his 92 Second Why thing. And so then I was like, I'm in.
All these things are great and worthy of your attention.
But I gotta do it.
But this is why your phone should be taken
now.
away
I'm
from you.
like now I need to record a recorded video for this Zoom rally for New Mexico tonight, which I like. Why? I mean, I'm so excited. Can this just be it? Is this it? Did I do it? Can we just send it to them right now?
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know. So I'm not doing the best at that stuff. One of our babysitters though is like sort of in between jobs. Shane, who I met in pottery class. Aww. She's literally in my phone under Shane Pottery Class NYC. And she's going to be working for me this month because of all the stuff that's going on.
Okay.
And she's helping. And so she was there today and she's really good at organizing. And so she's trying to help me organize everything. And that feels good.
Good.
So I did that.
That's proactive.
Yeah, I think that's proactive. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you doing your best at?
Well, same thing. I mean, it's, we're back in the swim and the swing. That's one of those phrases where I'm like, is it the swing or the swim?
It's in the swing. It's swing of things.
We're back in the swing of things, but it also feels like swimming. Just, trying to do every little thing and line up shoots and line up taping dates and everything. And, I'm trying to be more healthy about it than I was last time.
Yes, that's what we discussed. Yes.
Last time I made myself like a little like sick, if I'm being honest. Like I made myself a little sick. So, but as you know, last week we discussed lighting solutions for your home.
Yes.
If you listened to the podcast last week where we had Carissa Bodner as our guest, the CEO of Thrive Cosmetics, we love you, Carissa. Busy was saying that in her family home, she wishes the lighting was better. And I was talking about like LED panels that are like fake windows.
Mm-hmm.
Literally
I need you to walk me out here and we need to look at it. Okay.
Literally that night.
I got this text from Caissie. Can I read? Should I just read the fucking text from you? Because it's kind of incredible.
And so I'm describing these like fake windows, basically. It looks like windows, but they're electronic displays that look like fucking windows, that look like light. And so that night, I'm helping to edit the podcast. I'm in the office, the space where we're making the QVC show out of.
Ready?
And I text Busy.
Okay, I was editing the podcast after everyone had left for the day. It felt like a really long time, but I looked up at the windows behind where Dan keeps all his props, and I was like, nope, still light out. No, girl, it was 10:45 p.m. The studio space had the fake LED panels that make you think it's a bright window and a nice day outside. Lol. They're frosted with no scenery. But if you want to see what they look like, they're here. I legit thought they were windows until last night. I'm dying. It is actually hilarious.
Oh my God. So I like tricked myself like I was a gambler in a casino. You know how like they try to keep you from knowing what time it is?
It's so funny.
I tricked my own self after like making a pact with myself. Like, I'm going to try to be more healthy and more normal and leave here at a normal time. And I was like, thought it was 6 in the afternoon and it was like obsessed. 11. Ugh. So I'm not going to do that tonight.
Don't do it. No, we're not doing it. We're going to end this. Guys, sorry if this is like a short pod, but you know what? We got to get going.
We got fittings to do.
We have fittings to do. We're making this show for you. Also, there's
noisy
stuff
out
going
there.
So there's stuff going on outside. I just love you guys. I love you. Thank you so much.
We love you. And we'll talk to you very soon.
We'll talk to you so soon.
We'll talk to you next.
Why don't we do questions soon?
Yeah, we should do questions.
Guys, send in some questions.
Send more questions. Busy doing her best at gmail.com.
Because when we're doing this show, we get a little bit like, like our brains, you know, because we're like working on like, what are we going to do for the show?
Yes,
so
and we might have to like pre-record an episode.
So send in some questions. What's the address?
Busydoingherbest at gmail.com. But you can also like message on Instagram or you can message on the Substack, a bear on a wire. And and then we'll talk about some questions because that's always so fun and we love your questions. So if you need advice or if you just have questions, we can do it.
We are here for you.
Oh, and also I wanted to shout out Sweet Polly, who I met on the street, who is a fan of the podcast, but we met on the street and it was a very weird situation that I also told you about. Because I was like, I had seen a lady made meaningful eye contact with me and I was like, why is that lady smiling at me? And then a dog was staring at me and I was like, that is so weird. And then another dog was staring at me and I like really looked to see if the dog was still staring at me and it was. And then I was like, why are all people and all dogs staring at me? And then I saw another person make eye contact with me, but it was Polly and she's a podcast listener. And I was like, I don't know why the prior 3 people were looking at me, but Polly, I was so happy to meet on the street. And so Polly, I hope you're listening and I hope your brain jello came out good.
Guys, we love you so much.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh no.